Welcome friends to the fifth video on AutoCAD commands. Here we'll talk about the P line, the P edit, so these kind of entities. What is the usefulness of each of them? So before we start with that, we'll vacate certain space here by erasing the material. So what we notice here, earlier we drew this diagram using the simple line command. So note that it is made up of individual lines. So there are four entities to construct this square figure. So but if I use the P line command, if I use, you see the lines are coming up as they were in the normal line command, but once the figure is completed, you note that it becomes a single entity. It may be composed of number of lines, but all of those lines, they form one single entity. So now you may ask me, what is the use of this? Let them be separate entities, but they appear as a square in both ways. So there is some advantage with each of them. So now here I will demonstrate the advantage with the single entity figure. So for example, I have to construct another parallel figure. So what I can use is the offset command. So offset command can be easily used on the single entity figure. So offset command, so I will use through option, put T, press enter. Now it will ask me the object that I want to offset. I want to offset this object. I have done this. Now as I move the cursor, you see the new figure that I have to draw parallel to the original figure. So that is simply showing up here. So I simply click and that new object is created. So I can create the offsets very easily if it is a single entity. Similar way, if I want to create the offset in the previous case, so I'll use a similar way through, and then I select the object, only this line is selected, and when I move it, okay, so only this entity is created. So there is a limitation here. But on the other hand, if I want to erase, for example, just one side of this, so that may not work in the single entity figure. So for that I need single line commands. Now you may ask me, how do I know this in beginning that this is to be drawn by P line or to be drawn by the normal line? So normal with experience you will be able to judge in the beginning itself what you should actually use, line or P line, but normally you use a simple line. And at other point of time, if suppose something you made by P line and later on you want it to be converted to single lines, so we have an option. What is that? That is the last command, which is explode. So you type here in the command prompt explode, press enter, then the single entity thing that will be exploded into single lines that way. So then if you want to suppose erase only one side, so it is possible to erase that. Okay, so that is the usefulness of single entity things. And you may again ask me, if there is any way I can convert the normal line into P lines. Yes, there is an option in that sense also. So I'll show you. So you can use the P edit command. So P edit command is not only just to use just to combine the lines into others. It has other ways, other options also. I'll take you to them also. So but before that, what I do, so P edit So when I type, I want to convert normal lines into P lines. So I'll demonstrate this capability of P edit command. So I'll pick this line. So it tells me that it is not a P line. Do you want to convert it into one? I say yes. So I want to convert it into P line. So then further it will ask me what to do. I can say join. So this particular entity should be joined with this one and this one and this one, and I press enter. Then it displays that 3 segments added to P line. Now if I come out of the command prompt, so I see that the whole square, it becomes the single entity. So I now have the option of converting single entities into the different entities into single entity, and the vice versa. Now the other use of pedit command also will be demonstrated, but before that, so I'll draw a P line. So I draw a P line like this. Suppose I draw a P line like this. Now using pedit command, I can do few more things also. So what I can do, so for that I select the P line, press now it is asking different options. So I'll show you how to fit the curve. I can fit the curve and the line changes like this. So again undo using Ctrl Z. So I can also fit spline. Spline fitting will give a different curve. Fitting a curve is different. So that way, so these things are possible. Normally these are not very commonly used in our engineering graphics course, but just as an understanding, so we can get familiar with these options. At some point of time you may need them. Okay, so now the next in line is the divide and the measure command. So what do we have in the divide and measure command is something like this. Let us say we have a line segment. So if we want to divide it into, let us say, 7 parts. So I selected the object. So divide. It is asking number of segments I want. So 7 segments. So you see that line is equally divided into 7 segments. So it becomes quite useful. It may be an arc also. This entity can be an arc also. It can be a circle also. So I have an option of dividing it into equal number of parts. So divide command will do that. So what is the measure command then? So for measure command actually will make measurements on this line. For example, I want to cut blocks of, let us say, 0.65 AutoCAD units. So they will start from the starting point. So 0.65 they cut, next 0.65, next 0.65. So up to this point they reach. But the last thing which is remaining, that may not remain equal to 0.65. The reason is, so the line cannot be divided into equal number of parts of the given segment, right? So at the one of the part will remain as something not equal to the required size. So this is exactly what you can do using different AutoCAD commands. So I hope using the knowledge of these commands you will be able to solve any of the assignments in any of the first 3 assignments you will be able to tackle using these commands. So thank you.